I cut that one early on in the broadcast. It's like the second thing I thought of. Welcome, one and all, to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 540. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn, here as always, with suspender set to maximum stun. Got a great show for you today. Today is the Christmas special of Scotch and Smoke Rings. That doesn't mean I have anything really new or different or exciting for you for this Christmas special. It just means that it's broadcasting the day after Christmas. Like if you're watching television, particularly the BBC, Christmas special actually means something. They're doing something special, or they at least dressed up in a Christmas sweater or something. I didn't do any of that. But it's the day after Christmas, so this is my Christmas special. All right, just got to double check to make sure YouTube didn't do something like make my broadcast private. And it looks good to me. Apologies ahead of time as I'm still recovering from the sickness that put me out for, well, almost 2 weeks there for a while. But I'm feeling a lot better, just a slight residual cough that I got to get rid of. Good to see so many familiar faces in the chat today. Mac West with a tip says, "Evening Ox." Evening Mac West. Josh Bunton says, "Ox camera cap is on." Okay, thank you for that one. It's always good that you're there. You know, to have my back like that, letting me know when I have things like that on. We've got Vladimir and Jessica and Quintios and Q1 is up. Good to see all of the members and the familiar faces. 200 Angel, Jamie Armstrong, and as always, we are on Mixer. And I see the familiar faces on Mixer. We've got the T-Lady and J9D Lurch and Carbojo1 and Laura is on Mixer today. It's harder for me to see the Mixer, Facebook, and Twitter chat because Restream isn't working on my computer anymore. After some update, it's just not working. But I do see Mixer and YouTube chat right now. David Norrell says, "Have a laminated checklist that has check the sound on it." Yeah. That's the problem. I'm trying to do this all by memory. I've got the checklist in my head that I go through before each broadcast. And sometimes I push the button before getting through the list. Show us your new collection of cigars, says No Name, all in due time. We will get there, my friend. Carter Davis says, "Good evening, Oxhorn." Good evening, Carter Davis. Good to see you. And then Thoughtbot says, "Good evening. Enjoy the show with an old-fashioned." I will be having a little bit of old-fashioned scotch and cigars today. Jay-Z says, "Hey, hope you're having a Merry Christmas. Did you ever figure out who sent the demon toy?" Also, the glowing fungus that eats dads in real life was really cool. Rads in real life, I think he meant. Yeah, so he's talking about Twitter. Man, I had a day on Twitter today. I've been tweeting a lot today. One of my children got a present. So the way our family does things is both my wife and I have family far afield. Distant family, brothers, sisters, aunts, nieces, nephews that live in a variety of different places all over the globe. And they want to spoil the kids. And so they always send Christmas presents for the kids. But we're also keeping Santa alive in our household. And so Santa plays a big role in Christmas. And so some of the family likes to get in on that. So we'll get packages in the mail. We don't know from who. And it'll say from Santa. And we just assume that, it's one of these family members. So under the tree they go. And then come Christmas morning, we all open up the presents. The kids will spend a good long time opening their gifts. My daughter opened up something from Santa, and neither my wife nor myself knew what this was. And it turned out to be a mechanical bird, unicorn, bat, monster that had its own personality. This creature had a very interesting personality. So my daughter loved it and calls it like her baby bird, and puts it at her nightstand. next to her bed at night. And today I saw it and I turned it on trying to figure out what it does. And, well, I recorded it. I recorded exactly what it does and posted that video to Twitter. So if you missed it, just check out my Twitter profile. You'll see that it's about a 50-second video clip. I noped out of there real quick. Like, I discovered exactly what this toy does, and I went in an opposite direction. So yeah, no, it's, I've been active on Twitter today. It's been interesting in the Oxhorn household, due to Christmas. George Palmer says, "Hey, Oxhorn, are we going to see more Fallout lore videos coming in the near future?" Yes. I mean, I publish Fallout lore videos every single week, and I haven't changed. I published Fallout lore videos last weekend. I'll be publishing some videos this weekend. I don't know how many, though. I mean, I'm taking this week really kind of easy. Like, I haven't done any work hardly at all. I finished my Monday live stream, and then it was just wrapping presents and getting ready for Christmas. We hosted a big Christmas dinner here at the house, and then there's cleanup. So I really haven't had a chance to do any, like, Oxhorn videos. But I do have one in mind that isn't a lot of effort that I might get done by the end of the weekend, so we'll see. But aside from Christmas, I mean, I still publish Fallout videos every single weekend, so plenty for you to watch. Grievous Reborn says, "I was playing Star Wars The Old Republic today, and someone said how flannel shirts, neck beards, suspenders, and derbies were going to come back in style. Pretty sure he was talking about you." Thank you, Grievous Reborn. That's flattering. Very kind. Totally nothing about that could be construed in a negative way in any form or fashion. So, kindness. Pass it on. Rob says, "Watched your GNRCC video, Creation Club video. Do you think they should have used the regulators instead of the Good Fighters NPCs?" That's a really interesting twist to that particular Creation Club creation. The problem with using the regulators is it puts too much of a final note to the regulators in the Capital Wasteland. Because, and no, I don't want to do any spoilers if you haven't watched my video on GNR Plaza, the new Creation Club creation. But, like, the fate of the Good Fighters is established in that creation. And it's okay because they invented a new faction for that creation, and that faction's fate is written in that creation as well. If they were to have taken an existing faction like the Regulators and written their fate in that creation, might have upset a bunch of people who had their own headcanon where something else happened, right? So I don't know. It's probably a good idea that they created the Good Fighters instead of using a faction like the Regulators, though the Regulators might have made a bit of sense to fill that role. Grim says, "Hello, Oxhorn, could you make a Fallout game tier list?" I could, but I actually am really... I get a question similar to this during almost any broadcast, and the question is, which Fallout game do I like the best? Similar to yours, which is just to rank them, and I can't answer that question because I like them all for completely different reasons. I love New Vegas in a way that I don't love Fallout 3, which itself I love in a way that I don't love Fallout 4, which is a game that I love in a way that I don't like either of the previously mentioned. So it's one of those things where I can't really rank them. Like, what would I be ranking them on? Numerically? Date of creation? Sure, then I could put them in a tier list. But in terms of bestness, it's really, really difficult. So I try to avoid those kinds of lists because they're all good in their own way for a variety of different reasons. Welcome, new member Dominic Mace. The Dark Seraph says, "My grandfather had the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the New York City Zoo." I'm sure those two go together well. David says, "Merry Christmas and feel better. I'm using my holiday break to finally finish The Outer Worlds." Well, I hope you can get through it. If you spend all your time dedicated to it, you will knock it out. It didn't take us too long. I'm not sure how many days of live streaming that game it took, maybe 12 days? I forget exactly. But, yeah, great game. No Name says that bird was scarier than a Furby. It was indeed. It had a twisted look in its eye. Shot of Whiskey says, happy early birthday to my boyfriend Eric. Whoop, whoop to Eric, whose birthday is coming soon. Shot of Whiskey, excellent name. Mac West says, kill that monster toy with fire, Ox. Yeah, that was one strange creature. George Palmer says, sorry, X meant Fallout 76. I don't see your previous comment, so I don't know the context of that correction. And then Jay-Z says, any more thoughts about the inventory steal hack? It was one of those things where I learned about the inventory steal hack right as they were fixing it, right? I think it was Monday. I'm in the middle of a live stream, so I take Sundays off, so I didn't follow any of the Fallout news on Sunday. Monday morning, the first thing I do is get coffee and then sit down and do a live stream of Control, and news about the Fallout hack is coming in while I'm doing a live stream. And so I'm reading a little bit about it during my chat, and then once the stream is over, I can finally focus on the news, and I'm reading about it and learning about it and discovering exactly how horrible this hack has become and how much of a nightmare this is turning out to be. And so I expressed thoughts on that on Twitter, only to learn that they'd fixed it. They had fixed it just like a couple hours before. So yeah, for a while there was a really horrible hack that was working on in Fallout 76. I think like hundreds of people had their entire inventories stolen by just unscrupulous hackers who were running a script. They would just walk up to somebody, and from everything that I know about it, they didn't even have to click on a person or interact with a person. If that person had been loaded into the same bubble cell that they were in Fallout 76, they could just run a script to take that person's inventory. No matter what you were doing, if you were in your power armor, if you were using a workbench, if you were using a vendor, boom, all your inventory gone. And it affected quite a few people. But Bethesda came out and said that they were aware of it and released a fix post-haste before Christmas. So, yeah, nasty business. Rachel says, the Fallout 76 Atomic Shop has an animated spinning globe that shows worldwide nuked locations. Would be interesting to compare with the map at the oil rig in Fallout 2. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Rachel hadn't actually thought to do that. And the reason I hadn't thought to do that is because I haven't taken everything from the Atomic Shop with a complete grain of salt. I mean, the moment they come out with a Liberty Prime themed suit of power armor, I'm just... You can't take anything from the Atomic Shop seriously. It's not lore friendly. It's not created to work on the lore. It's created to humor a player, right? A player doesn't care about the lore ramifications of finding a pint-sized slasher outfit for sale in the Atomic Shop, or Gary blocks in the Atomic Shop, or a Liberty Prime style of suit of power armor in the Atomic Shop. They don't care. They're just like, oh, it says democracy or down with communism. That's cool. I'm going to wear it. And they have fun, right? That's the point of the Atomic Shop. It's just for Fallout 76 players to run around and have fun in a Fallout-themed environment. People who are interested in lore like me, yeah, the Atomic Shop kind of ruffles my feathers a bit, which is why I haven't covered it in any way, shape, or form on my channel at all. I've been pretending it just doesn't exist. Just, no. I haven't spent any money on it. I haven't spent any of my... What is it you get in the game? Coins or credits? I haven't spent any of my script or credits on it. I pretend it's not there. Papa Putin says, rate my username. I give it 1 hammer and no sickles. How's that? Okay. I got to show off my Christmas presents. Can I do that? It's my show, right? Okay. First things first. So, the way my family does Christmas is it's all about the kids. We get presents for the kids, but every now and then we'll surprise each other. Like my wife and I will have a small gift exchange, and then there are traditional things. Like my mom does this every year. Pardon me. These are called rum balls. They're not cooked. It's basically crushed cookie and like something chewy, like a nougat, I don't know, mixed with rum and powdered sugar. And it's not cooked. She rolls it, puts it in a big thing of powdered sugar, puts it in wax paper, and gives it to me for Christmas. Rum balls. Rummy. Oh, it tastes like Christmas. I get my rum balls. Okay. Then. This was from my wife. She told me what she wanted for Christmas. Because I'm not good at guessing. I don't know if it's just me or if men typically have a hard time. But I got her flowers, and then she gave me a list of the things she was interested in, and I chose a couple things off the list, and she was pleased. But she wasn't really surprised. Me? I had no idea what I wanted for Christmas. She says, Brandon, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, something tasty? I had no idea. Like, I didn't want anything. I didn't know what to tell her. The one thing I did say, I said, just don't give me anything Fallout related. I said, I've got everything I need that's Fallout related. My shelves are full. I really don't need anything else Fallout related. Just don't give me anything Fallout related. She's like, all right. So come Christmas morning, I opened this up, and it's a doggone treasure chest. This isn't plastic. This is wood with beaten metal. It's like a legitimate treasure chest. And inside, Warlord Gurkhas. Cigars. I had never had this brand before. Hold on. Oh, it's heavy. Like it's solid wood. This is not particle board or anything like that. It's like real wood. Now, I don't know if I can use it as a humidor or not. I don't know if it's cedar lined or something. But it's heavy and it's filled with cigars, and I'm going to smoke one. So I was legitimately surprised come Christmas. We let all the kids open up their stuff, and once everything was done, kids are playing with their new toys and stuff, and my wife and I have a small gift exchange. I give her gifts. She's like, oh, thank you, you know. Not surprised at all, because she told me what to get. She gives me my gifts. I'm like, what? You got me a treasure chest of cigars? Awesome. I did well. I totally botched lighting that. It's going to burn unevenly now. This whole side is going to burn faster than the other. Hold on, I got to fix it. Okay. I think that did it. Adrian Parker says, hey, Ox, hope you had a great Christmas. Love you. Thank you, Adrian. I had a blast. This week has just been wonderful. I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday ever. Just family and food and nothing to do. Just no work. Just, it was great. The Easy Life says, Merry Christmas, late Christmas socks. My wife got me a Fallout 4 Super Sledge prop for Christmas. Can't wait for the full story of Fallout 4 series. Much love. That's awesome. The Easy Life. Hey, congrats. Your wife knows you well. Spawn Freak says, Merry post-Christmas and Happy Boxing Day, Oxhorn. I was wondering if we might see your brand of storytelling with Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know. I'm enjoying my live stream of Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. It's still the kind of game that I'm trying to wrap my head around. I don't know if I can do a lore series on it the way that I can in Fallout, but I might. The jury's out on that. I want to play it more. I want to kind of get through the story first. I mean, that's the way it's been with every game I've done, with the exception of Fallout 76. But then again, I didn't actually do a lore series on that yet. I'm doing lore series on individual locations within Appalachia, but not on the primary plot. But with all of the other Fallouts, I played through them first and exhausted the lore in the game so that I fully understood it before I sat down to do a lore series. So I don't know. I've gotten the tips of my toes wet in Red Dead Redemption 2. Let me get my entire body soaked, and we'll see. No Name says the Warlords were even on sale according to one website. Well, my wife got them from a local shop. But if she did get a deal on them, then I'm even more proud. She got me awesome cigars and saved money while doing it. That's a good woman. All right. Then she got me this. Glenfiddich Grand Cru, aged 23 years. Single malt Scotch whiskey. Check this out. Huh? It's like a revolving door for Scotch. I haven't opened this yet. I'm really excited to. It says, please pull down, and I don't know what that means. Please pull down. You see that? Please pull down. Just set that aside for now. Deal with it later. Now, there should be an access point here in this metal strip. Let's pull that off. Hope the metal doesn't peel. Want a nice even tear. There we go. All right, here's the sound. This is why you all came today, for this sound. Here we go. That's what 23 years sounds like. A goodly portion. Oh. Waste not, want not, ladies and gents. Here, cheers. Bottoms up. Oh, yeah, that's how a real Scotch drinker drinks it. Like mouthwash. Years of practice. Oh, that's smooth. Smooth. Oh, it's so good. It's like drinking water. I shouldn't be allowed to do this. Someone needs to intervene. How would you even describe that flavor? It's like moss, burnt for 23 years, covered in coal from a cedar keg. Oh yeah, that's good. And I can taste the sea salt there. I have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way. I can't smell. So flavor? All right. Good stuff. Oh, I'm feeling good. It's a good day. I have no memes says that looks yummy. It was yummy. It's just despite my reaction, it's actually a really good piece of scotch. Rachel says, Ox, just curious, you've shared your frustration with the survival mechanics of Fallout 76. How does that compare with the needing to wash and brush your horse in Red Dead Redemption 2? I've come to terms with the fact that that's just part of the game and part of the charm of the game, but I would be lying if I said that it intrigued me. It doesn't. I find stuff like that tedious, and I understand that some people don't, that is immersive and it helps them with world building. Fine. I completely and totally respect that. But for me, I just don't get into it. Like, I don't want to have to stop what I'm doing because my horse's hair needs brushing. I don't want to have a combat penalty because I've got mud in my groin, right? There's a point where realism is just too real. Like, there was one game. What game was it? Years ago. Before I started doing any lore, I was only focused on settlements, and I was looking for other games that I could do content with that had building in it. It was there was one game that was on Steam, Ark. I think it was called Ark, and the main characters, I kid you not, if you're in third-person mode, while they're walking around, in the middle of whatever they're doing, just randomly, they'll dump themselves. And I thought, here we are. It's 2016, and I'm playing a game that is so immersive that my character is taking a dump in the middle of cooking a steak, hunting a stag, building a castle to defend themselves from dinosaurs. And what do they do at that moment? Oh, I just can't resist the temptation to just dump one here. That's the game. And it's stuff like that just annoys me. I don't want to have to take a break from playing the game because my character can't control his bowels. Oh, I'm feeling the itch. Time to stop everything I'm doing and race to the outhouse. That's too real for me. And it's the same with everything else. The food and the thirst and the sleep and the personal grooming in Red Dead Redemption 2 and the brushing of the horse's mane. Yes, it's immersive. Fine. Get on your immersive horse and whatever. It's great. I love it. No hate. No hate. But man, I don't need it. I don't need it. I would totally play a Red Dead Redemption 2 where I didn't have to bathe my character and brush my horse or eat or anything else. Now, the one thing I do like about Red Dead is that I have to smoke cigars. Like, in order to refill my my red-eye meter, my dead-eye meter, you got to smoke cigars. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I'll take a break every now and then to light up a cigar in Red Dead for my dead-eye meter. But everything else is just, I don't know. That's one of the things about Fallout 76 that frustrates me, right? So, I mean, you're right, Rachel. It's not my thing. Mr. Spooky Panda says, hey, Oxhorn, I want to thank you for all that you do. Your videos have gotten me enough through a dark period of my life. Well, I'm grateful that my videos were able to do so. Sorry to hear about the dark period, but I hope that there is light at the end of that tunnel. Trezo says, hey, Oxhorn, thank you for being awesome. From one cigar smoker to another, what kind of lighter do you use for your cigars? If you've been watching the program for any length of time, you'll know that I struggle with lighters. I can't find a good lighter that I like. This is what I'm using now. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. It's a Don Thomas lighter. I got this on the Famous Smoke website. And it's fine. It's got a bullet punch on the side in case you forget your cigar cutter. It's got 2 jets. Fits in your pocket nice and flat. That's what I'm using now. Eric says, get on your horse and get off it so you can brush it to avoid a combat penalty. Yeah, I know, right? I've got to have the combat penalty. I'd hate to have a combat penalty. God forbid there be any tangles in my horse's hair. That would give me a combat penalty. There are moments where you just take realism too far, in my opinion. Calvin says, when are you going to show us your 2019 setup? I mean, there's one prop that I've been waiting for almost a year. And once I get that prop, I'll probably go through the whole office. I'll do a big office reveal and a big office tour. Dawn Creep says, hope you had a great Christmas. I look forward to finishing this video when I get home from work. Well, thank you very much for the tip. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day at work today. What's your favorite content cut from Fallout 4, says Zawarudo? Probably the Institute technology. There was supposed to be an Institute-themed suit of power armor and Institute bioweaponry. They revealed this in their Art for Fallout 4 book. They were supposed to be like biological warfare guns with needles and like fungus and biological agents that the Institute had that would have been really cool. But they cut all that before they implemented it into the game, and we lost the cool power armor too. Modders have recreated that power armor. I did a video review about it. Josh Bunton says, Ox, you can also buy tonics to boost dead eyes and upgrade your camp at the book. Next to the donation box, you can get tonics, but you need to pay to refill what you take. Yeah, there's a lot of ins and outs of Red Dead Redemption 2 that I still need to learn. Bear in mind, this is my first playthrough, so there's probably a lot in this game that I just won't get until much later in the gameplay, simply because it's a brand new game to me. No Name says, Zippo Dual Torch Insert. It's an awesome lighter. I'll take your word for it. I'll look it up later. Jimbabwe says, when you get to Leon in Red Dead, watch out for the Night Fork. Okay. Thank you. The Easy Life says, from a writer to another, what would you say is the best written game you've ever played? Pardon me. That's an excellent question. The best I've ever played? I tell you what, the only thing coming to mind right now is Control. And I don't know if I could say it's the best written I've ever played, but in 2019, it's hands down the best written game I've played. They they put so much time into the setting of the game, into researching for the game, in creating this alternative universe where you have this Federal Bureau of Control, creating the culture, the bureaucratic culture of that bureau, creating the unique, interesting conversations, really, between the main character and her guardian angel, so to speak. I don't want to do any spoilers. The main plot is interesting. The way they scattered the world-building lore throughout the entire building, throughout the oldest house, is fascinating. The way that they sprinkle in comedy is great. Like, the Threshold kids are just brilliant. I crack up at every episode, and yet I'm horrified at the same time. It's really funny. And I was playing Quantum Break. The game they did just before this one, and it has the same humor. There's a moment in Quantum Break where you just stumble upon an email that one employee of the Monarch Company, I don't know if you've played Quantum Break, but the evil company in that game is called Monarch, and one of the employees is trying to get his book published, and he sends chapters of his screenplay. It's a screenplay, I think, to a friend of his at the company who has an inn at Hollywood, and we could read his screenplay, and it's the most hilarious thing I've ever read. So far, I've only read 2 snippets, and it's about this character. He's in like a 1990s action drama, and the plot, it's hard for me to talk about it without spoiling the plot of Quantum Break, but it involves a knife with time powers, so he stabs people to teleport them into time, and his arch nemesis is a guy with a time gun with time bullets who shoots people into random pieces of time, and then he can shoot himself like 30 times to create 30 duplications of himself to fight the good guy. It's just ridiculous and hilarious. Probably some of the best, but it's also serious. Like, the guy writing it in the game is serious about his screenplay. Like, he thinks it's really good. And they had to write it in such a way where we would believe that the guy who wrote the screenplay was serious about his screenplay while also recognizing it for the hilarious monstrosity that it is. So Quantum Break also had some really good writing as well. Yeah, I'd say Control is pretty great for 2019. BuzzFuzz says, screw the anchor battle. The anchor battle was hard. The fridge battle was hardest for me. I had to look up, that was the only battle that I had to look up a guide on how to beat. The anchor battle was difficult, but that fridge battle, once I figured it out, it was okay. But my struggle with the fridge battle is that the tentacles, as they came down, were blasting holes in the ground, and if I didn't watch out for them, I would fall to my death. So in my first live stream where I fought the fridge, I think I died 3 times, and then I that was the end of the broadcast. I was already up to a hard stop. I had to end it. So I finished the fridge battle in my next live stream. The anchor battle was tough, but I did manage to get through the anchor battle on my first try, I think, but it was really tough. Joe Mater says, Control reminds me of Warehouse 13 and The Librarian. Well, 2 games I'm unfamiliar with, so you've got the advantage on me there. I'll have to look them up after the program because, I mean, if it reminds you of those 2 games, I'll have to check it out. Flynn Lafferty says, why not use matches instead of butane lighters? Convenience, really. With matches, they take up a lot more space. Each match I've got to dispose of. With the butane lighter, I mean, it's the best solution for a cigar because it burns clean. Compared to a Zippo lighter, which burns dirty, and a match which can have, especially if you use a Strike Anywhere match, which it has like a chemical on it that's got to burn off first. You got to let it burn until only the cedar pardon me, in the matches burning, then you can light your cigar. Butane, you don't got to do any of that. Now, the problem with butane is you do got to make sure there are no air bubbles in your lighter, which is something I'm too lazy to do. So I just keep clicking it until it starts to light. But if you can get the air bubbles out of your lighter, use butane. It's easier. Chininator says, hey, Oxhorn, are there any more Outer Worlds videos coming? I don't know. I mean, I've still got so much Fallout to do. I got to do Far Harbor. I've got to do the full story of Fallout 4. I've got to do Fallout Tactics. I've got to do the full story of Fallout 76. Not to mention Wastelanders, which is coming out in a few months. I mean, there's just so much Fallout for me to do still that I haven't done, that I don't think I'll be sitting down to do a lore series on any other game for quite some time. Zimbabwe says Saint Denis in Red Dead is actually pronounced Saint Denis. It's French, I think. So it's not Saint Denis or Saint Denis. It's Saint Denis. All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll pronounce it correctly in the game. Saint Denis. Josh Bunton says Warehouse 13 and The Librarian are TV shows. Oh, okay. Well, I'll look them up. MK Panda says, hey, Oxhorn, big fan. What's your favorite Fallout faction? That's easy. The Minutemen, I think, are probably my favorite faction. They have the least corruption of any other faction, aside from maybe the Followers of the Apocalypse. The Followers of the Apocalypse, despite their good intentions, don't have an ability or a capacity to fight for the good intentions, whereas the Minutemen do. At least. So, well, the Minutemen before the Soul Survivor, I don't know if I would like them because they were a bit flaky. But the Minutemen post Soul Survivor, depending on the personality of the Soul Survivor, could have turned them into an awesome faction, which is what I tried to do in my Fallout 4. So I like my Minutemen the best. That's my favorite faction. Mighty Blue says, I'm excited for Wastelanders. I also am excited for Wastelanders. Can't wait to see what they have in store. Noodles says, drink Ox. Will do. Cheers. Thanks for the reminder. Loaf of Dodge says, will you play Red Dead 2 Moonshiners? I don't know. Depends on how far I get in the game and what I want to do after I complete the primary plot. Chininator says, I have no problem with that. Are you going to do live streams of Wastelanders when it comes out? Probably. No promises, but probably. I also want to make sure that I can capture enough footage in Wastelanders to do lore videos about the content. So I may do live streams without my little camera in the corner showing off my face, but I'll probably do live streams of that content. Aeon X Undead says, hey, Oxhorn, been here since the Rafflemau days. Do you think you'll ever do anything like that again? Oh, I don't know. I have a lot of different ideas. Like if I had infinite resources and infinite time, there's a lot of machinima stuff that I'd like to do for Fallout 4. There are a couple of music videos and songs that I've been toying with that I'd love to sit down and make for Fallout 4. But really, I just don't have the time or ability to do that like I used to. You have to bear in mind, when I was doing all of my machinima stuff and my music videos back in my World of Warcraft days, I was a single guy doing this full-time, paid to do it, before I was making a living on YouTube. And, each episode took weeks. Like in today's day and age where you have to have content coming out on YouTube every single week, like five days worth of content sometimes, or 2 or 3 videos every single week. Back then, I would labor over each video for a month sometimes longer than a month to get it right before publishing, and that just doesn't cut it on YouTube these days. But yeah, but now, as a husband and father and a whole series of different responsibilities, there's no way I could do that per episode. So, I don't know. Maybe someday. Bellum Capri Sun says, what's your favorite cigar? I don't know. I get that question a lot, so I should probably come up with an answer. But I don't really have a good cigar. I like Oliva cigars. I like Romeo y Julietas. I like Nubs. I like... Gurkhas are all right. This is a good cigar. Noah B says, what's your favorite character in Fallout 4? Madison Lee is way up there. But of course, my interest in Madison Lee as a character spans both 3 and 4. She was really well written in 3. She was really well written in 4. She's a great character, a real tragic character. Ingram is also really interesting. Quinlan is okay, not as interesting as Ingram. Proctor Ingram. A lot of great characters in Fallout 4. A hard one to answer. Point Perfect with a tip. Thank you very much, Point Perfect. Rachel says, that's a Christmas special. Fallout Machinima. Yeah. If I could clone myself. Maybe. It just for fun says, hey Oxhorn, any opinions on possible internationally based Fallout games? If you had the ability, what direction would you like that possibility to take? Another question I get asked a lot. I would love to see a Fallout in China. That is to say, I'd like to see what China in the Fallout universe looks like. I'd like to see what a post-apocalyptic China looks like. The problem is that Fallout is very American. The entire Fallout franchise takes place in America and celebrates a 1950s American culture, celebrates that culture as it would look if that culture maintained itself over the span of hundreds of years to 2077. So we would lose a lot of what feels like Fallout to us if we were to move the game somewhere else. Now, if we moved to Canada, that's one thing, because Canada was annexed in the Fallout universe, so American culture at that time would probably overlap a lot with Canadian culture at that time. So that's another really interesting place to see the Fallout franchise, because Canada had been annexed the year the bombs dropped, I think. I think it was that same year, according to the files that we see inside the Sierra Army Depot in Fallout 2. I think it was that same year. So yeah, Canada would be really interesting. You might be able to pull off a Fallout game there, but a Fallout game in any other country, I don't know if it would work, because you would lose the American feel of the Fallout game, which is kind of what Fallout is all about. Now, aside from that, I'm really curious to see what the rest of the world looks like, especially after we learned from in Fallout 1 that Europe and the Middle East had dissolved by the time of by the time the bombs dropped. They had dissolved into warring city-states over their lack of fossil fuels, because America had found the final cache of fossil fuels, which incidentally led to the Great War of 2077 and the annexation of Canada. But all of the other countries, Europe, the guys who wrote Fallout didn't have very high hopes for the European Union, because Europe and the Middle East, they were the first to go. They were the first to go. So, but yeah, I'd love to see what those warring city-states in Europe and the Middle East looked like. Would that be a good Fallout game? I don't know. Christopher says, I've seen many Fallout games based on the East/West Coast. What do you think ever happened in the central United States? You should probably play Tactics and Fallout Brotherhood of Steel to find out what happened in Chicago and in Texas. I believe Brotherhood of Steel is set in Texas. I'm pretty sure Tactics is set in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, it would be really interesting to find out what happened in the rest of the United States. We haven't heard of any major factions coming from those places, right? So, we already know that the Brotherhood of Steel is a powerful enough faction to cross the entire continental United States and take out any raider camp they see along the way, hence the Pit DLC for Fallout 3. They've been pretty much unopposed, right? You've got this marauding faction in Zeppelins, and even before the time of... So you had a bunch of Brotherhood of Steel soldiers in Zeppelins during the time of Fallout Tactics, but in Fallout 3, they didn't have Zeppelins. I don't think they used any Zeppelins to travel across the entire continent. So Elder Lions on foot, even, because they didn't have vertibirds. On foot, he brings his chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel all the way from California on foot across the country through Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. What did he see along the way? We have no record of that entire journey except for what happens during the Pit DLC. And all we get there is a small snippet of what life looked like in Pittsburgh, right? Imagine that, though. All of that, the entire drama of the Pit DLC in Pittsburgh, and that's just one of the numerous locations that Lions Brotherhood of Steel passed through on his way to the East Coast. What else did they see? Now, I think this tells us that there's no other faction that can rival the wealth, the technology, and the power of the Brotherhood of Steel, at least at the time of Fallout 3. They went all the way across the United States. They met nothing but raiders. Nothing but raiders. Raiders and super mutants. Then, by the time of Fallout 4, you've got Arthur Maxson and the Pridwen. They travel from the Capital Wasteland up to Boston. That's a huge swath of the eastern seaboard. What do they see? Nothing but raiders and super mutants and ruins. So, it would be really interesting to find out what happened in the rest of the United States, but I have a feeling if any major players were on the rest of the continent, we would have seen them by now. The bombs they dropped over 200 years ago by the events of Fallout 3 and 210 years ago by the time of Fallout 4. And really, the only faction that has a major presence that can, travel the entire continent is the Brotherhood of Steel. And the Enclave. How did the Enclave get... I think there was Colonel Autumn is the only member of the Enclave who physically moved from Navarro to the other side of the continent, because Eden was already in the Capital Wasteland. Which makes you wonder where all their forces came from. Did all their forces come from Navarro? Or did they activate some sort of pre-war vault filled with forces that they could conscript? I think Autumn came from Navarro. But where did the rest of the forces come from? I don't know. Anyway, food for thought. It's getting close to the game time. Here, this is what happens. You talk about Fallout to me and I go off on these tangents. Sylvester's Together says Chicago would be an interesting setting. There's supposed to be an Enclave base there. I'm really looking forward to playing Tactics. Zawarudo says, I've got it. Put a Fallout game in Anchorage. Think of all the irradiated Yetis. Yeah, but we've already got Operation Anchorage DLC for Fallout 3. I realize that it's a simulation. It doesn't actually take place in Anchorage. I doubt that Bethesda's going to sit down and make a Fallout Anchorage game when they've already got the Operation Anchorage DLC. That said, I'm with you. I would love to see what happened to the Fallout universe in Anchorage after the bombs dropped. Probably a lot of secrets there. Casey says, Islay, Highland, Lowland, or Speyside? What's your holy grail bottle? Also, thoughts on fountain pens. Shot in the dark on shared hobbies. Your shot in the dark is a hit, my friend. I like Glenfiddich. I like Lefroy. I like Lagavulin. I love my good Speyside and Islay scotches. As for fountain pens, I have my own personal collection. I was into calligraphy years ago, but I'm bad at it. My penmanship is horrible, so I stopped. But I still collected fountain pens for a while. But I don't know, I haven't been into fountain pens for probably about 10 years now. It's been a long time. Alt Grendel says, did you consider passing through the walls in the Vault 79 to see what's inside? I tried to pop my camera out to see if there was any gap that I could slip into, and I couldn't find anything. So I have no idea what's on the other side of the big Vault 79 door. Josh Bunton says the Brotherhood of Steel got lost and ended up in the pit, but the Midwest Brotherhood had all of those Zeppelins and they crashed in a tornado. Yeah, that's what Senior Knight Captain Kells tells us when we are aboard the Pridwin. He says that they had a bunch of Zeppelins that crashed in Chicago. Then he goes, long story, don't want to talk about it. Bethesda didn't want to elaborate too much on what happened during the events of Tactics, but they did hint to the event of Tactics, which means it may be canonical, which I'm really excited to learn more about when we play Tactics. Maple God says the Institute a major faction because of Dr. Zimmer. It's only a major faction in Boston. The Institute only leaves the Institute when their synths escape. Zimmer was only in the Capital Wasteland because of I forget what his name was. A52 I don't want to say his real name for spoilers. But he was only there to reclaim a captured synth. It's not like the Institute is aggressively exploring the continental United States looking for any resources that they could consume. They have everything they need underground in Boston with absolutely no desire to go anywhere else unless they have to. That severely limits what they're able to achieve. Now, could they be a preeminent force in Boston? In the Commonwealth? Could they rule the Commonwealth? And sure, yeah, I mean, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with within the context of Fallout 4. But within a national context or even a global context, they're small fries. They just don't have the resources, even the technology, or definitely the desire and ambition to do any nation building whatsoever. Their entire philosophy is that mankind is doomed to fail and the age of the synth is upon us, which is why X66, our companion, X66, is that his name? Which is why he's constantly saying that he can't wait for the human race to die out. A321 says Chris Blundon. That's right, A321. That's why Zimmer went south. Yeah, they're just waiting for people to die. Like, they want people to die so they can repopulate the world with synths that are immune to radiation. Oh, and by the way, they can control. Yeah. My cat is in my office and he's playing with my headphone string. You want to see what my wife has done to this cat? I know. I have no words. All right, time to get out of my office now. That's right. My wife put the animals in outfits. My dog and my cat, little sweaters. They both had little Christmas. I would have never done it. but it's adorable. For the Christmas photos and everything, it's just a little poodle sweater and the little kitty sweater. David Norrell says, "Is that Chowder?" Yeah, Chowder's grown. He's become a bit of a chunky kitty cat. He's big and fluffy. Brad Buzz says, "Wouldn't it be ironic if countries in Africa are thriving after the war in the Fallout universe?" Well, it's really interesting because we really don't hear much about South America or Africa or even Australia during the events of the Fallout universe. It's really the West and the Far East, right? That's really all we hear about. We hear a little bit about the Soviet Union, but even then, we don't hear much. A little bit about Europe and Middle East, but again, not a whole lot. So that's it's kind of a blank book. Sean Fernango says, "Hey, Oxhorn, it was my birthday, 21. Congratulations, Sean, and happy birthday." Josh says, "Lol, cat break." Yes. Everyone is saying that poor cat. I don't know. This cat is eating it up. I thought the cat would hate it, right? That my instinct is to not do this to the animal. The poor animal. Don't put him in a sweater. Now, the moment we get this cat in the sweater, his personality changes. He's docile. He's much more docile. He's just cuddles up with everyone. I think he likes the sweater. It's weird. This guy with a tip. Thank you very much, this guy. No Name says, "That's adorable." Yeah, he's a sweet kitty cat. Bring the cat back, please. No, I think we're good. We're good. Let the cat run around outside. He was trying to chew on my headphones cable. We can't have that, right? Okay, let's get the game going because it's about time to start playing a game. Respect the Madman says, "Hey, Oxhorn, what's your opinion on the powder gangers? Because I see a lot of people say that they are a lazy excuse for a tutorial to the reputation system." I think they're a fully realized faction in Fallout New Vegas. There could have been more information about the powder gangers, but we have a number of quests that are related to the NCR that have to do with the powder gangers. There's an entire vault dedicated to the powder gangers. Multiple locations devoted to the powder gangers. I have an entire playlist of numerous videos all about the powder gangers from Fallout New Vegas. So yeah, I think they're a fully realized faction. Much more than just a tutorial to the reputation system. Welcome, new member Casey Hanford. Josh says, "Bring in Cheddar and Admiral." No, it's Chowder, not Cheddar, actually. My wife named him after Chowder, the soup. Yes, clam chowder, because he's a white cat. Unwilled Leak says, "Hey, Ox, what do you think about a Fallout in Colorado?" Colorado would be a good location for a Fallout game, I have to say. Ooh, yeah, that was loud. Sorry about that. All right, let's pick up where we left off. All right. Okay, hold on a minute. This music is going to get me demonetized. Audio, let's turn the music down for a bit. Okay, that's right. So I'm playing as Elizabeth now. Repair the Lutece device. I gotta avoid these doggone splicers.
You don't know nothing. Ryan's playing them all like a cheap fiddle. He plays.
I can change, Sugar. I can. Just give me a chance.
Did you come to Realism? Fashionable? Did you intend to make something of yourself?
How did that happen?
If you don't keep ahead of the rest, you'll be
Simple.
resigned.
You want to mind control everybody?
Who's that?
Public address system. That's how you do it, Kara. Just like that.
Palm of my hand. Mark my words. Palm of my hand.
Okay, I have no idea how I got all the way through here without alerting one person, but I did.
Puppets, Kara. All of them. I'm the only one who knows the score.
Hey, there it is. Look at that. What's all of this doing in this tear, though? There it is, the Lutece device. Bad choo-choo.
How we won't immediately die of CO2 poisoning the moment we turn the thing on. Well, not the perfect phosphor frequency, but it'll do.
All right, now wasn't there something back here that I could access? Now that I have Old Man Winter?
I need to cool the transformer at the top of the device, or the whole thing will overheat.
Winter Mod adds an area effect to the projectile that can freeze multiple enemies. Sweet. I found a plasmid upgrade. Hey, cool. So, no wonder I had to have Old Man Winter first before picking that up. Okay, I need to fire Old Man Winter up there. There was one more, wasn't there? I could have sworn there was one more. Or was that back at that one guy's base? I think it was. Well, let's do it. Let's go chill it out.
I'll need to actually use Old Man Winter on the transformer. Okay, that should stop it from overheating. There, everything's fixed. We're ready.
Let's fire it up and see.
If I did everything correctly, all that's left should be pulling the lever at the front of the device.
Okay, lever at the front of the device. Is that this? No, it's this. Here we go.
What did I tell you?
Okay, well, let's go. Never thought I'd come back to Columbia, let alone to that exact moment.
Booker. Look. You're on the First Lady.
Retrieve the quantum particle. Okay, let's do it.
It can't be this easy. The First Lady Mark II was built around a particle lift system, just like all the buildings in the city. I read all about it in the Columbian Scientific. The particle's seated at the top of the structure. Must be up that lift.
Okay, so we take a lift.
Perfect.
So I can't go that way. Looks like we're taking a lift.
Seems like a lot of technology just to float an airship. Comstock never heard of hydrogen.
The First Lady Mark I did run on hydrogen, and it was destroyed by a single bullet from a Vox sniper. Unfortunately, the Prophet wasn't on board at the time.
Well, why does everybody have to learn the hard way that hydrogen's bad for Zeppelins? There it is.
If I take the active particle, then the First Lady is just a 40-ton paperweight. Best to take the spare.
Maybe that taking one of those spares would be what we need to move on forward.
Okay.
Here we go. Now let's head back through that tear.
You honestly expect Atlas to honor his side of the deal?
No, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
How do you plan on handling Atlas? He ain't just some spliced-up maniac.
He'll make a mistake. I just have to be ready to take advantage of it when it happens.
All for a girl you barely know.
How well did you know me when you came to Columbia?
Here we go.
Pretty lady not finished yet.
What? Open the tear.
Powerful devices, very expensive. Tit for tat.
Just tell me what you want.
Such a wonder something is simple. Lock of hair.
Oh, you're not serious.
Not your hair, stupid. Think has a cigarette light. Mothballed, forgotten. In there, hair sample. In jar. Cannot miss it. You get for suture. Then everybody friends.
Where's his lab?
Closed off, past Fink's quarters. You smart lady, you find.
Should have seen that one coming.
Great. Well, on a mission for Sushang.
Vox Populi. We must have arrived right in the middle of the siege.
That means the other you and I are probably inside the factory. On our way up to the First Lady.
And what happens if we run into ourselves?
We won't,
How do you know that?
because we didn't.
But we did run into...
Press to generate a bullet-snatching shield that places ammo into your gun.
Hold right mouse to generate a bullet-snatching shield. Oh, good. I mean, I needed that. Okay, but wait a minute. We did run into the corpse of Booker DeWitt. He had been a member of the Vox Populi. So it couldn't be this Booker. Oh. Season 12, episode 706. Southeast, I don't know. Just wonder if it's an Easter egg or something. Have to be Simpsons, I guess. Find Fink's lab. Ah.
I've taken your counsel, and you done me good service, but I will not hurt the boy. I will see Fink and Comstock burn, but I will not hold the son to account for the deeds of his father.
You've misunderstood us.
We neither asked you to harm the child.
Nor did we promise that yours would be the hand that would set Comstock's world afire.
A famous man once said,
And a famous man shall say,
I may reach the mountaintop,
but I fear I shall never visit the valley below.
But you mean I won't live to see the... No.
It's up to you what matters more.
Your part in the play?
Or the play itself.
Someone is coming.
She'll arrive a girl.
She must leave. A woman.
And what makes the difference between a girl and a woman?
Blood.
Your part in the play?
Or the play itself.
Turn her into a killer? How?
Give the girl no choice.
And she will be forced to make one.
She's the one who killed the other Booker. That was disgusting, by the way. Really disgusting. And that's not a good definition either. A lot of really creepy people believe that definition. K. May says that was an alt Booker Ox. Remember the multi-universe timeline. Yeah, you're right. I'm just trying to figure out which alternative universe timeline comes from which comes the Booker that's talking with me. Now, it can't be the same Booker who was a member of the Vox Populi, because we had just had that conversation about the Vox Populi. He was aware of that timeline. So who's the Booker who's talking to Elizabeth here? Where did he come from? That's what I want to know. Sneaky, sneaky. Should I know who they are? Doggone it. I need a plasmid that always gives me my dart back. K. May says the Booker talking to Elizabeth. Well, wait a minute. If what you're telling me is true, then that's a spoiler. So thanks. But I'm not entirely convinced, because he knows things that she doesn't. He's informing her of things that she has no reason to believe until he says it. Well, we'll find out. Okay, that's the way we go. What's this way? Oh, it's taking me down. Okay, well, the way I need to go is behind me. Hey, what's all that? Ooh, how do I get in there? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there a hole I could run through?
What's going on? Hell,
I promise I'm afeared of nothing.
Never stop fighting!
Change. That's what the people need. But sometimes I feel all I have to offer them is blood and fire. The things they done to me, I can't forget them. I was Columbia's victim, and victimhood begets shame. Oh, what element of human experience is more corrosive than shame? I'm rotted from the inside out. What do I have to offer this revolution except my own dark motivations? When all is said and done, what's more important to me? The people I want to save? Or those I want to murder in their beds?
Daisy Fitzroy, calm down. Do I have enough? Well, I'm not going the right way. Oh, this is where I'm... Back the way I came. Why did I have it? What's the point? Okay, so I need to go that way. We'll go this way for now. Two darts spent. I need one dart back. Oh, I remember my battle on this ship was awful. Hold on. I gotta be stealth. Be sneaky. I've got a couple of enemies here.
Who done this? Someone about?
One left and one left. Got it back. Yes. Empty. Come on. No. Wasn't there one more? Aboard the tub. Can I get up there? Doesn't look like it. All right. Well, let's see what's in this vending machine.
We're sneaking around out there.
Medical kit. I've only got one, and I'm at half life. But man, these are expensive. I've only got $32. Cigarettes, ammo. I'm only carrying 2 lockpicks. Nah, forget it. Money is just too scarce in this game. All right, well, I alerted someone to my presence.
Here I come.
Find her! Get it.
Have I just come full circle? Yeah, that's the way I need to go. Let's finish exploring down here.
Still lying around.
Lousy traitors. I bet I could find them.
Okay, I think it's safe. K-May says, lol, Booker said at the very beginning of the game that blah, 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 you just didn't hear. Spoiler, spoiler. You are right. I do recall him saying that, but I don't want to believe that Elizabeth is crazy. Alright? I mean, he did say that. I remember it now. Shoot. Okay, there's got to be a reason I cleared all these guys when I didn't really have to. Give me some money, or a plasmid, or ammunition, something. Well, guess we're just gonna go up, eh? Escape the Matrix says, don't forget Peeping Tom. It'll come in handy for some battles to come. Yeah, you're right. I've got, what, Ironsides? Ironsides is the one that allows me to collect bullets, right? Then there's Possession, Peeping Tom. How many times did I use that? Swap it to these two. And that's where I came from. All right, here we go.
We abide neither dilly-dallers nor malingers. I trust.
Who's out there? Don't think you can hide from me. My living quarters got reassigned, all right. I'm sleeping in Fink's bed tonight.
Yeah, got it back. David says, possess the vending machine to get money. Oh, yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting to do that. Thank you, David.
Yeah, there's a war coming. You can smell it in the air. Fear, hatred, people dying every day. But how many more will suffer if we rise up? Violence begets violence, I know this. I've seen this. The rational mind argues for a peaceful solution to find a common ground, but what common ground is there to find for a father who watches his child bleed out in the street? How do you deny him his vengeance? I know that fire that burns deep inside. I know it all too well. And when the time comes, will I be able to stay to hand?
Okay. Good call, David. Let's go get some money. It's going to cost us some Eve, but maybe worth it. We got some free Eve lying up there. Alright. Back to Ironsides. Okay, it's pretty bright in here. I'm not going to get far if anyone's out there waiting for me. I love the feel of this chapter to the DLC. Very different from the other one. I feel like I can take my time and just explore. I don't feel like I'm pushed into confrontation after confrontation. Which is great. Okay, what's this? Jeremiah Fink Private Quarters. That's where we need to go. So, before we go there, let's check out the rest of this building. See if we can find any secrets. Hey! Which ones can I possess? Oh, it's a lot of them. That one's not active. So that's the only one I can possess. All of these are inactive. And that's locked. Also locked. Okay, well, let's see what he's got for sale. Still only have one medical kit. There's some salts lying out upstairs, which I don't really need. Crossbow, tranquilizer. I could buy a couple more of them. Still, 15 bucks. I could get some lockpicks. Oh, I've got 3 now. That's enough to pick even one of the worst. All right, I'm going to save my money. I don't want to spend it. I hate spending money in video games. Okay. Any hooks? There's no hooks for me to jump on here. So it looks like we only have one direction to go. Wait, first, hold on. Is this lore up here? Oh, that's the bird. A diving suit for the bird? Oh no.
Think.
Sleep. Prayer. Leisure.
A giant clock.
Sort of. Looks like the mechanism unlocks certain activities when Fink gives his blessing.
So what? We're stuck waiting for the cuckoo to go off?
No, there's a slot for some kind of key for manual winding. We just gotta find that.
Sure seems like a lot of work to lock down a few doors.
Yo, if there's one thing Fink loves, it's a lot of work.
Guess we'll search in sleep. Ethan H. says, keep in mind you can use Peeping Tom while holding still without using any mana or salts or vigor, as long as you have the upgrade, which I think you do, and I do. Yep, that worked. And there's the crank.
Our current state of being, or lack thereof, has left my brother unfulfilled. The biological urge to leave one's mark is strong, and it is not an impossibility. We could instantiate ourselves back in Columbia, return to an old life for the possibility of creating new.
Oh, what?
But we died in that world. Returning would mean giving up part of us, ourselves. We'd become flesh and all that it is heir to. The mysteries of the universe would become once again mysteries.
All right, for the uninitiated, the Latouche twins, and correct me, Chad, if I've got this wrong. But the Latouche twins are the same person in different realities. In one reality, he or she is a male. In another reality, he or she is a female. They're both geniuses in both realities. They open a tear, they find each other, they decide to start calling each other brother and sister, and they go around Now she records an audio. The female version of Latouche records an audio talking about her brother's biological urges and the need to start a family. What even is that, man? That's like incest to a whole weird degree. Is it? Ugh. Man, why'd they have to include that? I don't even want to think about that. Ugh. There it is.
We've got the clock key.
Adjust the clock. Prayer. Leisure. Well, we should explore all of them, so I guess we'll start with prayer. Uh-oh. I'm getting drunk. Whoops. I forgot that Liz is a lightweight. Ethan H. says, brings a whole new meaning to go screw yourself. Alright, what have we here? Empty bottles of absinthe. Graffiti on all of these statues. Is this where Booker was baptized in the first year? Able. Able prophet. Able, really? Able prophet. Untold prophet. Prophet. Zachary, you old shyster. Sure to impress the ruse. You give the sales pitch, I'll provide the snake oil. Untold rewards await the faithful in eternity. All of that for some salt, or for some vigor, or whatever. Okay. Let's turn that crank. Wait, let's see if there's anything I missed. Nope. Line Cliche says, Oxhorn, technically it would be analog cloning. They are, after all, one person. Could you imagine the offspring from analog cloning? I mean, 100% of your DNA. They're smart enough to realize that's probably bad, right?
Sea slugs. Goddamn sea slugs. Could that Oriental have come up with a more inconvenient fuel for his plasmids? If there is a God, and I've seen more evidence to the contrary than in support, you'd think he'd have put Adam into the belly of a nice little seagull or crow. The cost of all these underwater expeditions are murdering my margins.
10 times atom required. No. Notes. Low cost, less atom use, tougher cell. Fake effect? Fast effect? Reused glass. New adults regulation. Why injectables? Drinkable plasmids require 10 times the atom that injectables do. Injectables are the clear economic choice. Repackaging will result in significant atom savings. Oh. So they were on their way to turning plasmids into stim packs when Booker arrived. Kinetoscope seized from the graveyard shift bar. Hello. What is this?
As to the matter of religion, let me place myself in the camp of the agnostic. I pretend to understand the mysteries of the infinite no more than you, Comstock, or anyone else for that matter. But for the sake of argument, let's say this is all one unhappy accident, and we're all alone in our toils. Then who would Comstock use to control and shame us with rules that apply only to those without a penny in their pocket? If there were no God, you could rest assured the first deed done by the first rich man would be inventing him.
Vittorio Ambrose says, hey Oxhorn, I saw your thumbnail for this live stream and got a little jealous. Well, sorry. Oh, hate to rub it in, my friend. It's just so... Oh, that aroma. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's heaven. Oh, sorry. I showed him off earlier in the broadcast. Hey! Yes! One more tranquilizer bolt. Okay. On to work.
Idiot his lock of hair.
Why does he want a lock of hair? Of Fink. Cloning, I guess. Cloning? We've been to this lab previously. We know what to expect.
Listen, I got you your gun.
Or Fitzroy.
But my Booker DeWitt died for the Vox Populi. You either an imposter or a ghost. My Booker DeWitt was a hero to the cause, a story to tell your children. You just complicated the
Wow.
Booker, you there? I miss you. You were the only one who ever... You were my only friend. Booker.
I'm not even here. I'm a projection of your own.
Could you humor me then? Please.
I think Booker would miss you.
Okay, you were right. Figment of the imagination. We should know that by now. I really want to know if going back and playing Bioshock Infinite, if at that moment we were to turn around and see Elizabeth go down. Or are we locked into a conversation with the intercom at that moment and we can't turn around? Because they clearly didn't see us in the playback in that moment in time. But we're also clearly in the same tear of time. Elizabeth passes Elizabeth. But for her, it's old memories. And she just remembers that at that time, Booker was trying to help her. Protect her. Ah! K. May says, ha! Told you, Ox! Yeah, you're right. You deserve the ability to say told you so. You told me so. Alright, I'm not going to get through this with stealth. How do I switch weapons?
Show yourself! No escape, pig! Hunt you down!
E. E? Yes. Okay. I have no ammunition for radar range. Great. I have no knockout gas. Great. Ethan H. says Peeping Tom makes you invisible if you hold it down. Thank you.
Where are you? You, come out of there! When I find you... Guess you ran off.
Thank you, Ethan. I had forgotten about that. Gonna have to get over there, but I don't have any good ammunition.
Hey! What are you doing?
Don't believe any of it.
Everything I have is noisy except for these darts, and I only have 3 of them.
No escape, pig!
Well, that's one way to do it.
Pretty nice over here. Don't believe any of it. I heard you!
Well, I didn't notice that big flying
hunt
thing.
you down!
Okay, now what's that flying machine gun thing that I didn't even notice earlier? Oh, it's on a boat outside. Jay-Z says Ox, he is Suchong. He's trying to figure out how to link big daddies with their little sisters. He wants to replicate that after he saw Fink, Ty Elizabeth, and Songbird. Oh, I see. There we go. It's mine now. Okay, let's get my dart back, please. No, and I lost the dart. That was just sneaky, having that thing waiting for me like that. Sneaky, sneaky. Ethan is spamming the heal Oxmoji. All right, I will heal, but I don't want to waste one of my first aid kits, so I'm going to try and eat my way back to health. That's the lesson of all these video games, by the way. Are you sick? Are you injured? Medicine? No, just eat your way back to health. And that's what I intend to do. Okay. Goes upstairs. That's the way we need to go, so let's see what's over here. Dollar bill, y'all.
Only a few still hiding round.
Jesus, it's rough in here. Say, somebody, fetch me a millionaire to clean this mess up.
Ooh, tricky. Tricky, tricky.
Comstock promises there's nothing to be worried about. But I don't like the smell of things down in Finkton. Not one bit. If trouble rears its ugly head in the form of one cantankerous negress, I've laid in some supplies in the event of a forced evacuation. They're down in what I call my chamber of panic, near the base of my statue. I've set the code to 8371.
8371. Remember that. Amnesia, buy a line, forget everything you know. 8371. Marketing note. How do you plan to sell this dud? Deadline ringer, buy a line, reanimate dead loved ones and pets. 8371. Marketing note. No one wants a moldy puppy.
Put knifer.
I've got you. Come back here.
Wow, that was unfortunate. I wasted a couple of darts. I've only got one left.
Well, that's enough of that business. I'm done.
And now I've forgotten the number. 8371 says David. Thank you, David. Eight three seven one. 8371. Okay, this will probably take us all the way down. What? Yes, I found one on the body. Entering handyman operating wing. What the? What am I gonna find back here?
Can't stop me this time. You can't stop me this time.
Tricky, tricky, tricky. Lots of baddies down there.
He's followed.
Who's that? Dead to pigs! There's no way out!
You can't hide forever!
Still breathing. Who did this? Long live Daisy!
Oh, no, I'm done! I had them all standing right on top of me, draining my Eve. Okay, let's try this again. See how many resources it gives me. Okay, let's try a different weapon, because this isn't working. Can't believe my knockout crossbows are empty.
Something's going on.
Dead to pigs! Hunt you down! All pigs.
Someone gun her down.
Okay, well, I tried to pull a Booker there, but that didn't work too well, did it? Okay, let's try a different strategy. And that strategy is just sneaking around, bonking people in the back of the head, and using bells to redirect them. Okay, I think I can do that. But now I know there's only one person waiting for me down that left hallway. I almost said leftern, didn't I? It's a portmanteau of left and western. There it is. 8371. What was it?
Comstock promises there's nothing to be worried about. But I don't like the smell of things down in Finkton. Not one bit. If trouble rears its ugly head in the form of one cantankerous negress, I've laid in some supplies in the event of a forced evacuation. They're down in what I call my chamber of panic, near the base of my statue. I've set the code to 8371.
What? 8371. It must be the wrong one. Okay. He did say base of the statue, so maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing here.
answer for this? Still warm. Who's out there? You can't hide forever. Death to oppressors!
I find you!
Still breathing.
Who did this?
Ah!
Let somebody else look for him.
Ah! Oh, whatever, man. Golly! I'm fine, I'm fine. Okay. No names, but conditions.
You gonna answer for this, girl? Come back here. Here I come!
Come out of there!
You're gonna die. Still warm. Who's out there?
Dead to pigs! Come out, piggy!
We're okay. We're just finding our way through.
Hunt you down!
Okay, they're both still out there. More crossbow bolt ammunition, thank you.
Here I come!
You cannot bonk with those helmets, says David.
Where are you? Well, they're not around anymore, are they?
Don't think you can hide from me. Ain't no private dick. Someone else can find me.
All right, well, I missed this earlier, but I see it now.
Daisy sacrificed herself. Set me up to kill her, to turn me into what?
A killer.
Yeah, well, mission accomplished. I'm no martyr. How did you do it, Booker? How did you...
Elizabeth, I'm not Booker.
And neither am I.
Okay. Oh. Well, what have I gotten myself into? I feel like I missed a whole bunch of stuff. That's the way I need to go. Yeah, but I missed a bunch of stuff by going through the tube. And I can't have that. And I got 1 life left, so let's do it. Okay, there's that one guy on the platform up there looking right at me.
What's she doing here? I'll find her.
And he's coming.
You gonna answer for this, girl?
Come on. Oh, now's not a time for stretching. I want him to come here. It's going to be the easier way to get him out of the picture. I didn't want that. Come on. Come through the door.
You can't hide forever. She long gone. Come back here.
Well, that's enough of that business. I'm done.
Can't stop me this time. You can't stop me this time. Hey, who are you? Who's out there? Here I come.
Ah!
Just bide your time.
Oh, what element of human experience is more corrosive than shame? I'm rotted from the inside out. What do I have to offer this revolution except my own dark motivations? When all is said and done, what's more important to me? The people I want to save, or those I want to murder in their beds?
Josh says, Zox, do you have possession? Yeah. Oh, good, I'm back here. Is that how I get past this possession?
Don't worry, I got your back. There's
If it's really that easy.
death to oppressors.
No, it doesn't last forever.
Here I come.
Come out, come out.
else can find her.
There's 4 of them. Just waiting for one to walk by me. That one's alone now.
Hey, who are you? You can't hide forever. Never stop fighting. Come back here.
Still breathing. Who did this?
Don't think you can hide from me. I'll find her. Chasing my own shadow. Can't stop me this time.
Kill your oppressor! To arms!
You gonna answer for this, girl? No surrender! I'm gonna hunt you down!
Did I get him? Ah! I got him.
Now, I know there's been some concern about the nature of the work we do here at Fink Manufacturing. Why, some say they're uncomfortable with the purported harm and suffering our research brings. But friends, let me pose a simple question. Is there anything you would not do to guarantee the health and safety of your loved ones? My interest is the future health of your children. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Okay, now that they're all dead, I can fully explore this place. Looks like there are a lot of hidden things here. Got more tranquilizer ammo, thank you.
Hair sample in a haystack.
Retrieval locations of sea slugs. Very interesting. Okay, let's loot the handyman suite. I died down here last time, the handyman wing, I should say.
Getting to the foxes are a fate of the hens. If Fink was going to hire a bunch of goons to keep an eye on the handymen, he should have found some with less yellow in the belly. Now they're hiding away from Tin Man invalids in their precious little guard room. If you need to get in there on your shift, the code is 2847.
2847. New code. 2847. 2847.
Show yourself!
Come back here.
He's in the way. Where did she go? Yeah, bring it up with the others worry about it.
Someone else can find her.
Lousy traitor. And I...
Hey! What are you doing?
Gonna hunt you down!
What's going on? Oh, the fox!
I had to miss that bolt, didn't I?
What's the price you're willing to pay so that others may live free from the yoke? DeWitt knew the price and paid it willingly. And I sense what the Lutece twins will one day ask of me. So far, their counsel has served me well. Served the revolution well. If a bullet takes me, so be it.
All right, I can do this. Ironside's health mod adds ability to recover some health based on absorbed damage. Ooh, I like it. Now to find that other door. Don't tell me they're respawning. Surely they're not respawning. Okay, that'll take me out, which I don't want just yet. I want to finish looting. And I think this just leads me back to the big open room. So across the hall. Well, at least I got one back.
Kill your oppressor!
Here I come!
Doggone it.
I have a pressing need to speak to this so-called false shepherd, stirring up so much trouble. We got enough problems without this damn fool shooting up the city and blaming it all on the Fox. Though if he's amiable, yeah, he might be just the fellow we need for our immediate concerns.
Do I need to open that door again, or did it save my progress? Looks like I need to open it again. Wait, did you see someone hiding in there? Where did he go the last time?
Come out. Come out. Oh well.
Okay, I've got 2 darts. There are at least 2 of those guys with the helmets that I can't knock out. I've been down here.
Listen to that racket. The damn air grabber must be busted.
thinks of the foxes are afraid of the hens. If Fink was going to hire a bunch of goons to keep an eye on the handymen, he should have found some with less yellow in the belly. Now they're hiding away from Tin Man invalids in their precious little guard room. If you need to get in there on your shift, the code is 2847.
Okay, there's this one guy with the helmet here. And I can't miss this shot.
It's his fault.
Only one dart left, but there's still one guy with the helmet. Somewhere. There he is.
Who's there?
That should do it. Okay. Full Eve, decent health. Hello. All right. So this is all that stuff I kept seeing. Sure is noisy up here though. But at least they're all gone. Okay, let's find our way back. Then all we got to do is go through that one pipe and out the front door to get that hair sample. Okay, that's it. No other tubes from up here. Just that one over there. Now, base of the statue. We've got one more locked door at the base of the statue. See if we can find it. Body in the fridge. Nice touch. I believe we can get to the statue from here. They're back. Oh my gosh, they're back.
Still breathing. Who did this?
Here I come! I can smell ya.
Well, I can officially say that's not fun, having to clear this all over again.
Next.
Well, that's the base of the statue.
Who's there? Oh, escape, pig!
We were in here.
It's so easy. Someone kill her!
Where did she go? What happened? What's going on?
Gonna hunt you down. She long gone.
Oh, I got
Hey!
that.
No!
Ah! Right at that door!
Oh, what element of human experience is more corrosive than shame? I'm rotted from the inside out. What do I have to offer this revolution except my
Josh
own dark
says, don't forget about
motivations?
possession.
When all is said and done, what's more important to me? The people I want to save are those I want to murder in their beds.
Yeah, I'll try that next time.
What is that?
Stay away from you.
There's no.
Where are you going?
Comstock is going to answer for this.
That's the room I'm trying to get into, right?
I'll find the piggy!
Never seen. Kill her!
Come out of here!
I'll kill you myself!
Where are you?
I can smell ya. You're feared of me. Here I come.
Who did this?
Stealth game. It's a stealth game. What? Oh, any left? No. So much for your stealth game. Under the stairs. Thank you. Okay. What was it again? 8371, I think. Yeah! Yeah, Ironside Salt Mod adds ability to recover some Eve based on absorbed damage. Okay. Sweet. Oh, I finally got it. Now, let's get out of here.
Who are you then? Gun her down!
Yeah, I better get out of here before they all respawn. Watch my luck, they're already respawned. One left, says David. Oh, was it only one left? It's only one left. If it's only one left, then that means they didn't respawn. Which means I can still explore safely. Because there is this one room that I need to get into. There's that one room that I haven't been to yet, and I can't figure out how to get there. And it's this room. This one. How do I get in there? There's a pipe leading there. I mean, what's in there that I want? I see a lockpick and some Eve or vigor. Where would I even find the entry point? We've seen that. We've been here. We've been in there. Have we been down here? We've been down here. How do I get to that vent? I'm looking for any other entry point. Have we been up there? Yeah, that's where we came in. Right? All right, I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Let's go. Ah! Looks like we gotta jump around a bit.
Seems like Fink and Suchong were sharing their research.
Like the Lutesses. Cross-reality collaboration. It all makes a kind of sense. The little sisters and the big daddies. Songbird and me.
Constants and variables.
Oh. So that's how they connect. Test subject inventory. Well, let's see what's in test subject inventory. Ooh. Holy cow! How many test subjects did he have? There's hay in that one, so we've got animal test subjects. Ah! Imprinting studies. Hello? So clear.
What is all this?
Imprinting. That's a wire mother. If you separate a gorilla from its real mother, it will imprint on almost anything. Even that.
Why would Fink care about that?
Songbird. You wanted him to imprint on me.
Well, if I recall, that was a problem he solved.
Is that gorilla dead? I think that gorilla's dead. It's one dead gorilla. Yes, finally some gas ammo. Oh, wow. Oxy Toke. Oxytalk. I should have read it before I pulled the lever. Oxytocin. Oxytocin? Well, they're giving me everything right now. That tells me something bad's about to happen. Hello. Imprinting mechanism.
It's a skeletal formula for oxytocin. That's the chemical that bonds mothers to children, women to men, and...
Songbirds to little girls?
Apparently not. Fink dismissed it as an unsuitable vector.
Oxytocin. Oh! Oh.
These poor things. Fink couldn't get them to imprint, so I left them to die.
Oh, yuck. Failure. Are they all dogs? Josh says, Oxhorn, did you have a good Christmas? I did indeed. It was wonderful. I hope you did as well.
Imprinting failed. That can't be right. Clearly they formed a connection between Songbird and me.
How?
I was so young. I always remember him just being there.
Songbird was mechanical?
It must be a prototype or something.
Is it a human?
Does it matter?
Weird. Unsuitable vector.
Tried hypnotherapy.
On the Songbird. How'd that go?
About as well as you'd expect. Booker, the little girl in the film. It's me. My God. Oh, I remember he'd crashed into the tower. I guess he was in some sort of fight. I waited there thinking I don't know, that something would happen, but he just lay there. Moaning. I couldn't just...
The lion with the thorn in its paw. So much for science.
I should have just left him there to die. I should have just... I will never escape it. Exploited, exploiting, me, Comstock, you, Sally. It's like a wheel of blood spinning round and round.
Subject's personal effects. Hair sample. So it's Elizabeth's hair sample?
Well, this must be the genetic sample Suchong wanted.
He sent you all the way back here for a sample of your own hair?
He doesn't know I was once the child that imprinted on Songbird. But to him, all of the answers lie in DNA. Men like Suchong mistake an ounce of empathy for a pound of science.
Okay, we got it.
It's open. See if anything's worth reappropriating. Check for stragglers. Spread out.
Oh, great.
I heard you.
Death to oppressor!
Hunt you down! I'll hunt you down.
Who done this? Someone about?
You can't hide forever! I ain't gonna drive you dead. Someone else can find her.
Got him. 2 left.
Who's there? I'll find her. What? You gonna answer for this, girl?
Well, what's down here? Nitrohawk says, hey Oxhorn, how are you? I'm doing really well. I see, so this would have put me out on the other side. How are you, my friend? Where will that put me? Well, let's finish looting first. Okay, that goes back. To the specimens. Oh, that goes back to the gorilla. Okay, so it was a directed, a linear path, but now, where does it want me to go? It wants me to go back. Okay, well first let's see what's in this tube. Have I been in here yet? Don't know if I've been here yet. Oh yeah, it just puts me right back out there. Okay, so I just gotta find my way out. I've pretty much looted everything. And that's Songbird. Well, let's see what's up here. Brings me back there. Oh, and I can finally get back here. Yay!
It has occurred to me that this breakthrough regarding the Songbird casts my arrangement with the Oriental Doctor in a new light. What more could be gained by this continued partnership? What secrets that I could not answer for myself? Su Chong can only offer table scraps. Jeremiah Fink has richer meat in mind.
It's making me go back this way. How many times have I cleared this room?
What you got there? Nah, just grabbing anything that looks halfway there.
Who's that then?
Over here!
that you become Lord and Master.
Man, that gas is nice.
Used to tow for the man. Now at least I tow for myself. Gonna hunt you down.
I heard you. Who done this? Someone about? Come out, come out. Long live Daisy!
Don't think you can hide from me. You can't hide from me. Stop fighting.
I'll hunt you down.
You gonna answer for this, girl?
Still breathing. Who did this?
Here I come. Still. Who's out there?
That's everyone. We got it. Well, I used all my darts. I guess it's back to the elevator, right? Yep. Will we see Elizabeth and Booker again?
Do you think Daisy really even had a choice?
What do you mean?
Right about now, I'm planting a pair of scissors in her back to protect a child she was never going to harm. But she chose to die for her revolution. What about me? For all the endless worlds, all the infinite possibilities. Did I ever even have a choice? And you?
Yeah. Booker thought he did.
Look where it got us. Right back where we started.
How does she know that Daisy was never going to harm that child? She practically
All these
said she would.
infinite universes. And yet we end up just going down the same paths.
No, don't take your meaning.
My father sold me to settle a marker. Comstock locked me up in a tower. And I sold Sally for what? Revenge? To prove a point?
And yet, here you are, settling the debt.
And say we find her. The old past their damage to the young. Isn't it too late for her now?
Well, I'd say that's up to her to decide. Justice coming back here was up to you.
Rapture runs on children. Little girls with gold growing in their bellies. I'm not gonna break any cycle. If I'm lucky, maybe I can dent it. Just a little.
All the way back we go. There it is.
Pretty lady has the hair? Deal is deal. Bring it to Suchong.
And there we go. Achievement unlocked, mine hair.
Lady put hair sample in tube. Then business is finished.
What's going on out there?
Bloodshed, violence, but not relevant to our arrangement. Put the sample in tube.
Suchong. Suchong, we had a deal. Now open.
Do you know what they call someone who enters a man's home uninvited? A thief. And I do not remember inviting you into my city.
I had a deal with Suchong.
Suchong is my employee. It was not a deal he was authorized to make.
What do you want?
I granted Atlas and his thugs asylum. You serve those same men in a desire to escape from my generosity. If they shall not have asylum, then they shall have liquidation. Give a parasite an ounce of charity, he'll demand a pound.
I'm just looking for a girl that was taken from me. A little sister.
I don't claim to understand what you are, but I know that you are special. There is business we can do together. And so I give you a choice. Work for me or die with Atlas.
I'm not going anywhere without that girl.
If it's a little sister you want, that shouldn't stand in the way of commerce. I've got dozens of them.
I won't leave without her.
My men stand ready to take down the door. In 60 seconds, they will enter the room. They will either treat you as a valued employee of Ryan Industries or as a thief in the night.
60 seconds.
There must be half a dozen of them or more. I've got to get ready.
All right. I sadly
I can't.
don't have time for this battle. It's way past my broadcast time. Well, not way past. We're a little bit past. I have to get ready for my live stream tomorrow, if I'm going to be able to do it. The jury's still out on that. I haven't decided if I'm going to do my Friday morning live stream, just due to Christmas and the festivities and everything going on right now. So follow me on Twitter and stay tuned. I will keep everyone up to date with any adjustments to my schedule as necessary. Jay-Z says, Ox, don't you remember what the Latuses said to Daisy in the vent? Daisy said she would not punish the son for the sins of their fathers, but Latus said Elizabeth had to become a woman. I see. But that's information that we only get now. It's not information that we got at the time. Daisy was still threatening the little boy with a knife, and Elizabeth, I mean, she made the call she had to make. Maybe she never would have harmed the child, but that's not information she let Elizabeth know at the time. So should Elizabeth really beat herself up over that? I don't know. At any rate, thank you all for coming. A good 3 hours worth of Scotch and Smoke Rings and Bioshock Infinite. We'll pick up right here where we leave off. Same Ox time, same Ox channel, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time next Thursday. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow morning for some Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll see. But either way, have a good night and a wonderful morning. Be kind to absolutely everyone. And I'll see you soon with more lore videos and more live streams.